Well, it's not related to the new law, Bev, because that's applying in Hong Kong. This is a travel warning for mainland China, and it would appear that it's probably related to the detention of two Canadian citizens in what appears to be hostage diplomacy, and also, too, to the detention of the Australian citizen Young Hung Jun, who's been jailed up here in Beijing for the best part of a year and a half without access to any lawyers. So I'd say that's probably the reason why the Australian government is making this warning now. I've heard up here that this wasn't hastily done, that this has been in the pipeline for quite some time. And because it was only announced this afternoon, when I asked China's Foreign Ministry spokesman Zhao Lijian about it, he hadn't had any time to even hear about it, but this is what he had to say.
I haven't read the related reporting yet. What I want to say is the Chinese government, in accordance with the laws, always protects the safety and the lawful rights for the Chinese people in China. For the foreigners living in China, as long as they would obey the disciplines and the laws, there is no need for them to worry at all. I wish, for the relevant countries, they should be objective and fair. They should maintain the objective and fair attitude, speak and act cautiously, should do good matters, which will benefit the development of the Sino-Australian relations.
Well, Bill, if this, of course, is a warning that there could be retaliatory action against Australians, it could be quite complicated because there are many Australian Chinese travelling backwards and forwards between the two countries for business and family reasons.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably more likely, Bev, that this is actually an Australian diplomatic reaction to China issuing two separate warnings to Chinese nationals about travelling to Australia. You'll remember in the past couple of months, you first of all had a department education warning for university students who were looking at resuming classes in Australia in July. Coronavirus was one of the risks mentioned, but the bigger one was reports of increasing discriminatory actions or attacks against Asian Australians. So that was a formal government warning here in China towards Chinese students wanting to study in Australia. And then the Tourism Bureau here warned Chinese travellers they should rethink travelling to Australia once again because of alleged racism. Now, the issue is, of course, that was more rhetorical than anything else because the borders are closed. But if you're looking at tit-for-tat retaliation, one must wonder if the Australian action may actually partly be in response to these previous Chinese warnings about travelling to Australia.
Interesting stuff. So this is not going to help the ongoing relations between the two nations?
No, but one could look at it and talk about the case of Young Hung Jun, an Australian citizen I've just mentioned. He's been up here for a year and a half detained, no lawyers able to access his case. He's under investigation for espionage. The Australian government has made statements about that case in the past, but this perhaps is also linked to that, to say, well, hang on, we're not very happy about this case, so we're now going to warn all Australians over here that this arbitrary detention risk does exist.